Okay guys, this is the independent practice. I asked you to do page 293 and 294, 1 through 9 odd, and the number 13. Now let me read you the answers first. For number 1, we have 6 yards. Number 3, we have 52 ounces. Number 5, 2.5 tons. Number 7, 1,500 pounds. Number 9, 4 and 4/5 ounces. And then 13, we have less than. Okay, so let's get started then with number 1. And as always, read the directions. Okay, it's just the directions just say complete. So let's do this. Number 1. You have 18 feet. We want yards. Okay. Now, one thing I didn't do with the other two homeworks, and I'm actually going to do now, because I realize you're going to need to know this to help you to make sure if your answer makes sense or not. All right. We're going from a smaller unit. From smaller unit to a larger unit. Okay. Why does this matter? Why do you need to, excuse me, that should be a larger unit. Okay. So basically what I'm doing, I'm taking all these small little pieces and I'm bunching them together. That tells me my answer will be less than 18. Okay? So when you get your answer, you can check, hey, does this make sense? So if I'm going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, my answer will be smaller than what I started out with. Okay? So we have 18 feet. And we know we want to get rid of the feet, right? And we want yards. Now, if you look at that chart again, this is a distance issue. We do know that 3 feet is 1 yard, or 1 yard is 3 feet. The feet cancel out, right? And so we have 18 times 1 yard, YD, I don't know how to say W, over 3. That's 18 over 3. Don't forget the yard. YD. I'm so used to writing the whole word. It's just me. We have 6 yards. Now, our answer, is it less than 18? Yes. Our prediction was correct, and our answer makes sense. Okay, so now we're up to number 3. All right, we have 6.5 cups. It should be just C. And we're going from cups to fluid ounces. FL OZ, ounces. It looks Oz, right? I always wanted to say Oz. It's ounces. Okay, whoops, you didn't see what I just wrote. Let me read that again. We're going from cups to ounces, fluid ounces. Now, if I remember correctly, cups are smaller than ounces. Let me check. Cups are larger. So you're going from a smaller unit. Excuse me. You're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit. Now, how do I know that? Now, I'll be honest. I had to check because I forgot. Guys, I don't work with this. I work with the metric system. So I'm more used to liters, deciliters, and all that. So I can tell that. But this is, anyways, no excuses. I forgot. Take responsibility. I forgot. But you know what? The good thing is I know where to find the information. Okay, so here we go. Here we have cup. Here we have fluid ounces. Now, if you look at the top, it says we're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit. So, if you notice, 1 cup is the same as 8 fluid ounces. So it makes sense then that when you go from cups to ounces, your number is going to get bigger. Okay? So, I'm just making a real quick prediction. The answer will be more than 6.5. All right, so let's just do the math and see what happens. Maybe I'm wrong. It happens. You've seen me make plenty of bonehead mistakes. All right, So 6.5 C for cups. We know it's the same as, well, all right. 1 cup, and we put it on the bottom because I want to get rid of cups. Let me look at that chart again. Like I said, I didn't memorize this. I can always look it up. 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. 8 FLOZ. Okay. Cups cancel out. So we're left with 6.5 times 8 FLOZ over 1. Now, if you don't know how to multiply with decimal numbers, look at it. There's plenty of videos on YouTube. Khan Academy can do this, but I'll just do the math on the side real fast. 6.5 times 8. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 6 is 48. Plus 4 is 52. Now, if I did my math wrong, let me know. All right, now here's the part where people kind of goof it a little bit if you're not careful, if you go too fast. 1 decimal point, 1 place value, 1 place value, 1 decimal point. So our answer is 52 FLOZ. All right. Okay, here we go. Number 5. 5,000 pounds. 5,000 lb. All right, well, let's work with, we're trying to go from pounds to tons. Or just T, big powerful T. All right, now again, smaller unit, larger unit. Now I'm telling you this so you can check your answers, see if your answer is reasonable. Okay? Because some of you panic, like, oh, is it right? Is it right? And I get it. You care about your grade. So I'm giving you a way to check for yourself. Now I'm taking all these small little pounds and I'm bunching them up into groups. So my number is going to be smaller. Much smaller. But that's regardless. Okay. So what do we have? By the way, I realize that when you guys do this, you're not going to be writing all the stuff I'm writing down. You don't have to. But just make sure your answer makes sense. All right. I definitely want to get rid of pounds. Now, this is one of those things I did memorize. I know 2,000... Oops, put it in the wrong place, didn't I? 2,000 pounds is 1 ton. Okay? Pounds cancel out. We have 5,000 times 1 over 2,000. Oh, T for ton. All right. 5,000 T over 2,000. I'm going to divide. Of course, I could simplify first, right? If I divide by 1,000 first, let's just take care of that real fast. I have 5 over 2. Oh, much better. Whew. Okay. Two and 1/2 tons. Now look at that. My number is much smaller than 5,000 pounds. So it takes 2,000 of these. 2,000 of these little guys to make 1 ton. All right, number 7. Ooh, now we get to the word problems. This is what I'm saying. This is what we've been trying to get ready for. Because word problems are what make or break students. You know the math. In the beginning, I said we're calculators. Yes, we can do the math. But can we apply that math? Can we apply that knowledge to what we have in front of us? So let's see. One of the largest pumpkins ever grown weighed about 3/4 of a ton. How many pumpkins did the pumpkin weigh? All right. So definitely, okay, I know what a pumpkin is. Pumpkin, what they use on Halloween. You get the little... Okay, again, I'm not an artist. But there you go. Here's my pumpkin. Pumpkin weighs 3/4 of a ton. 3/4 of a ton. That is a big pumpkin. All right, we're going from tons to pounds. Large to small. I know, okay, large. You know what? Why be lazy? Large unit to smaller unit. So we're taking this big piece, this big thing, and we're making it up into smaller pieces. So our number is going to be larger than 3/4. Answer will be larger than 3/4. All right, I think we can do it all here. And then let's see if we can do this right. Three-quarters of a ton. Big T is the same as, well, I want to put tons on the bottom. So really I kind of messed up here. So I'm going to do this. Big T. You saw this. And you understand why I put it on the top. I explained that before. I'm going to put this on the bottom. I want ton on the bottom and pounds on the top. Really should be putting LB. But that's okay. All right. If I remember correctly, 2,000 pounds is 1 ton. Right? Okay. Tons cancel out. We have 3/4 times 2,000 over 1. Okay, you know what? I know you don't like this, but I'm going to do it anyways. I always check. I can simplify before I multiply. I know 4 goes into this. Why? I know 4 goes into 20, so I know this works. All right, so that gives us 3 over 1 times 500 over 1. And before you say it, I forgot the unit again, didn't I? 500 LB, 1,500 LB, 1,500 pounds. Okay, 3 times 500, 1 over 1. Okay, I hope this helps. 1 more to go. We have actually 2 more to go. Number 9. Hold on. Before I go in here, let's make sure. 3/4 of a ton. So if I take 2,000, divide it into 4 parts, each part is 500, 500, 1,000, 1,500. That makes sense. That works. And if you see, the number is much bigger than what I start out with, okay? Number 9. Okay, again, read the problem. Make sure you understand what's going on. A 3-pound pork loin can be cut into 10 pork chops of equal weight. How many ounces is each pork chop? Okay. Oof. My goodness. Okay. This is where it can get a little weird, so let's work through this. You're like, what are you doing? I don't see what you're doing. You're right. Again, this camera. Still trying to get used to it. Okay, this is supposed to be a pork loin. Again, I'm not a big fan big meat eater, but if I think of it, I could be wrong about this. It's like a pig steak. It's steak made out of pig. I could be wrong, but either way, it's meat, pig meat. 3 pounds of pig meat. Okay, and I want to cut this up into, well, how many? Oh, 10 pork chops. 10 pork chops. Okay. Now the question is, how many ounces? Is each pork chop? Okay, now I could see where somebody would go, okay, well that's easy. I'm going to take 3 pounds, divide it into 10. Okay, but is that really going to tell us how many ounces each pork chop is? Because we have pounds. What's missing? Now, let's not kid ourselves. If you said you're going to divide by 10, your instincts are right. But don't do that first. Why not? I kind of already said it. We want ounces. Remember what I said earlier? Where are you starting? Where do you want to end? We're starting with pounds. We want to end in ounces. Okay. Why did I write ounces? Telling you, people, if you're young, I'm doing it again, aren't I? And I'd like to say I'm doing this on purpose. I'm really not. Ounces, there. Whew. Pounds to ounces, right? We're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit. Larger unit to smaller unit. Okay, our answer will be smaller. Actually, no, our number will be bigger. We're breaking this up, right? Now, how to think about that? That didn't make sense. Did that make sense to you, what I just said? No. If we're taking a big chunk of something and we're breaking up into smaller pieces, the number will get bigger. So our answer will be more than 3 pounds. Okay. Now, when I say answer, we're actually doing two things. First, we're going to change this to ounces. And then once we have this into ounces, we can divide it into 10, and that'll give us ounces for each pork chop. But the initial answer from 3 to whatever ounces, it's going to be bigger. Right? But let's find out. I could be wrong here. So we have 3 pounds. I should start right again, the units, right? What do we know about pounds and ounces? Well, let's look at the chart. I think it's 16 ounces per pound. It's one of the few things I do remember. Let's see, it's a mass thing, it's a weight thing. 1 pound, 16 ounces. Yep, I was right. And again, it's not because I'm smarter. I just know where to look for information. Okay, so we want to get rid of pounds. 1 pound is 16 ounces. Excuse me. Pounds cancel out. You have 3 times 16. Over 1. You have 48 ounces over 1. So you have 48 ounces. And you're like, okay, we can't see what we just did. 3 times 16 ounces, 48 ounces over 1, 48 ounces. But that's not the final answer. Okay, what we just did right now, we said 3 pounds is the same as 48 ounces. We just figured out 3 pounds is 48 ounces. But there is another part. The part is, if we cut these 48 ounces into 10 pork chops, how much is each pork chop? That's the final problem. So, 48 divided by 10. 4 8/10 of an ounce, but always simplify whenever possible. 4 4/5 ounce. So each pork chop is 4 4/5 of an ounce. Okay? Again, even if you don't like math, the main thing about math is solving problems. It's thinking in a logical order that makes sense. Okay? Just to review real fast. Don't just attack. Don't assume. Go through the parts. Go through the process. Okay? And even if you make mistakes like I just did, that's okay. All right, last one. Number 13. We have, well, geez, got to be able to see it, right? 16 inches, and you're comparing it to 1.5 feet. Okay, here's the deal. You're comparing inches and feet. Inches and feet. You can't compare these numbers unless you're talking about the same units of measurements. Feet with feet, inches with inches, yards with yards, so forth and so on. Again, if it would be saying like 16 slices, is it the same as 1.5 pizzas? Well, it depends. How big is the pizza? It could be a giant pizza, with 16 slices. I don't know. It could be equal for all I know. So we got to change these into equivalent units. Either change this to inches or change this to feet. Either way, just pick one and stick with it. Okay? You might make a mistake, and that's okay. Now, I'm going from a smaller unit to a larger unit. Let's just go with that. I'm going to go 16 inches. I want to change it to feet. All right. So 16 inches times, I want to put inches in the bottom to cancel out, feet on the top. I know 1 foot is 12 inches. So I have 16 over 12. 16 feet, 12 into 16. One and 4/12, right? But if I simplify, I have 1 and 3/4. No, excuse me. What am I thinking? 1 and 1/3. Okay. Okay. Just making sure. I'm just checking my math. Okay. So we have 1 and 1/3 feet. 1.5 feet. Which is larger? Ish. You know what I could have done? No, let's just go with this. 1/3 is actually less than a half. Just to show you. Assuming it's the same size. So 1.5 is actually larger than 16 inches. Okay. Now, if you want to see the math, in case you don't believe me, if I multiply this by 2, this by 3, 1 and 2/6, 1 and 3/6, you can see that this is still larger. Okay. All right. And that is it for that.